I don't know. We need like I don't know a little. So I'm using the photo you sent me of Jean Claude, me and you in a strip club. Unfortunately,
Dude,
you don't really see the stripper in the background because the way I have it set up in Discord.
that's all right.
That's all right, but it has
It,
the three of
I,
us. The
I
Trinity.
still think it's an awesome picture.
The Trinity.
It's cool that my friend did that for me.
It's pretty funny. Who did it? You want to give him a shout out?
Coworker, his name is Isaac Yang.
Yang. Cool. Cool.
He's a Hmong fellow.
There you go. I don't know what that means.
He's Hmong.
Oh, he's Hmong. You
Hmm
said he's a Hmong fellow, and I'm like, what?
Got
Gotcha.
a lot of those out here in the Midwest.
Is he a big JCVD fan or no?
No,
No,
he's
just
like, yeah, he's like late 70s.
oh wow,
He's a
okay.
little bit older than me, so, or
Late
older than us.
70s, a little bit older.
So
He's got like a
his,
half a
yeah, his,
life on him, dude. You got like a half a
I'm like,
life on him.
you know what his favorite movie is?
Titanic.
Police Academy.
Oh well, there you go. That's the choice.
Like, that movie's so stupid, but whatever.
Whatever floats your boat.
To each
Anyway,
their bone.
I'm Ian. That's my boy Justin, and this podcast is the films of Jean Claude Van Damme, the legend, the maestro. What is he? The muscles from Brussels. Some would say.
Yeah. Oh, and in this movie, that's not even really the point. Like the muscles isn't really in it. I mean, there's a couple of like hot body shots, but it's not really even a part of the movie. It doesn't. It's not about that.
No, it's not.
You know, it's really about the story.
So this is the second. Like, there's another movie he does. I think it was made way earlier, but it released in this time period where he's like a side character. But this is the second starring role of Van Damme, and we're doing the movie Cyborg. Um, it's a I'll read it off Wikipedia here. It's a 1989 American martial arts cyberpunk film directed by Albert Pune. Pune, something like that. I can't believe. Okay, so I have seen this
Oh,
movie many a times. I like this movie.
wow.
I like this movie quite a bit. Justin, you kind of were about to drop some like crazy knowledge on me.
Uh-huh.
What was it? You've never seen this movie?
No, I thought I've seen it, but I think what I was thinking of was what's the one where he's like from the future?
Oh,
Is
Time
it
Cop.
Future Cop?
Time Cop.
Time Cop. That's what I thought I was going to be watching. So when I watched this, I was like, I've never seen this fucking movie before, and I just watched it today,
Oh my
and like,
gosh.
and and I was,
Blown away.
it is a good movie, man.
It is. I think
I think.
I actually like it. This may be controversial, but I like it more than Bloodsport because it has more of a story. It's kind of more creative. It's just I don't know. I mean I watched yeah, I saw this way young. This is one of those like I don't know how old I was in 89. So I probably saw it in 90. So I was probably like middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were 11.
11 watching this very violently. I mean, it's kind of comically violent now, but back then it's a very violent movie. Uh, and
I suppose, but yeah, not nowadays. I didn't think.
no, by nowadays accounts, it's just not violent at all. But like back then, it was just very. I had never seen anything that graphic, and my understanding is, it was actually going to get the X rating because it was incredible. They had to like tone it down a lot of the violent scenes. They had to cut a bunch of it out.
Well, well, yeah, because I think they kill a woman. He breaks her neck in one, and then I think there's a titty shot
Oh, there's a bunch of titty
in another
shots.
scene.
There's some good titty shots in this movie. That's a nice thing.
Well,
No male butt, but some titties.
no male but the the actress I don't know her name in the movie.
Oh,
Um,
which one? The robot or the younger
Not
girl?
the cyborg. the girl that he's with during the whole movie,
Yeah. What is her
and
name?
then his wife or girlfriend or whatever from his past. They were both very 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 pretty women, but I don't think they showed them like naked or anything.
I believe you're right. Yes, correct.
I think the naked girl was like a random person or
It's
cyborg.
one
I
of
don't
the.
know.
It's one of the pirates, I
Yeah.
believe. Uh. So this is an interesting thing that I learned reading Wikipedia. So Canon Films initially intended to make a sequel to the 1987 He-Man film Masters of the Universe and a live-action Spider-Man film, but both those projects were planned to be shot simultaneously by the same director, Albert Pune. However, Canon was in horrible financial trouble and had to cancel those projects. But they had already spent like $2 million on sets and costumes. So Albert wrote this script, Cyborg, and he originally envisioned Chuck Norris for the film, of course, because why not Chuck Norris? Of course.
I mean, honestly, the movie's not really about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It isn't. No.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I guess anybody could have played the role,
Right.
but
It's not like really tailored for him. It's not tailored for anybody. But
no, it's almost like there is no main character.
right. I think after the
You agree?
I think after the success of Bloodsport, though, I think that's when like, oh, we should get this guy for this movie, and I think that's how he kind of got it. But Van Damme has said he doesn't like this movie. He doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's come out
Well,
and said,
probably because he didn't get to be the sex object. Although he did do the splits in the movie.
"Oh, that's the best. That's one of the best epic splits ever, in my opinion. I think
I
it's
didn't
one of
know
the.
what was going on. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And then all of a sudden, the shot comes, and I was like, "Oh, fuck!"
It's good. I think it's a great epic splits. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
knife the guy from above while you're like fucking suspended between a fucking two walls and shit. I think
Mhm.
this movie as a young kid just played in my head for days, and I've watched it many times throughout my, growing up. I probably haven't. It's hard to actually find, so I probably haven't seen it as many times as I'd want to have seen it. But
I had to sign up for Cinemax in order to watch it.
I rented it for
It's
like
fine, whatever.
I
A month of free movies.
I
You know.
rented it for $4 from Amazon. I think
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
did. I think that's what I did.
I'd buy it on DVD, except my Xbox doesn't play DVDs.
Psh, fucking Xbox, dude.
It's freaking digital only.
What a fucking. So I wrote some notes. The dialogue's pretty bad in some of the scenes. I do love that it's outside though. Like I feel like a lot of that it just kind of takes place outside most of the time. I do like that.
Yeah, there was a couple of things I was thinking about. I was watching it today, so put this in your notes. Was first is it almost resembles like an 80s beat 'em up video game, like Streets of Rage,
Oh,
I
right,
feel.
right.
And second of all, the camera angles are awesome in the movie. Like as it shoots towards what's his name?
Oh, you mean one of the guitars? Uh, uh, uh
No,
Fender
as it
tremolo.
shoots toward Fender, as it shoots towards Fender.
Yeah, he's a guitar, Fender. All the names are
He's like,
guitars.
oh, okay, I didn't know that. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Gibson. So
Uh,
like Jean Claude Van Damme is Gibson Rickenbacker.
oh shit, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. So the bad guy is Fender Tremolo. Dale Hayden is Pearl Prophet. So Pearl drums and Prophet, I guess, is a keyboard. I don't know. There's a bunch of like that
Yeah,
shit in that, man. You'll catch it if you watch it
yeah,
again. You'll catch it.
okay. But yeah, the camera angles in the movie are what I learned from you actually are Dutch
Oh, there's a lot of
angles.
Dutch angles in this. Yeah.
Or they're like tilted on the ground and shit. I was like, it's like it's it's a bad movie done by a really good director.
trying to make it better.
They
Because it
almost like old. Who's the guy that directed Lord of the Rings?
oh, Peter Jackson.
It's like old Peter Jackson movies.
Gotcha.
You know? Yeah.
For
So
sure, for sure.
I hope that director went on to do good things.
Not
I
really.
don't
Not so much.
know. Shit.
You know what he did go? You know what he went on to do? This is like kind of sad actually, but he did the straight to VHS version of Captain America. That I have it somewhere, or I did have it. But like, there's this old '90s version of Captain America that's very bad, and he did that. I was like, oh, that's kind of surprising. I had some other funny notes. The flashbacks, dude. Jean Claude's hair in the flashbacks is out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kept thinking Bloodsport with the flashbacks. I was like, enough of the fucking flashbacks.
It's
He
funny.
looks like who did I think he looked like somebody, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't
but
have it.
yeah.
I just thought that hair was like, what is going on with this mop you
Yeah,
gave him, guys?
it's like sticking out the back, like spiking out the back. Yeah.
Every time we went to that flashback, it's like, oh shit, what's going on here? I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, I just didn't understand why the villain was just so fucking strong. Like this, he was intense, but I also don't really understand why he was more powerful than our boy. I just like through the whole movie. I was just like,
No, because
they haven't really
yeah, because
established why he's.
actually,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
the end fight scene was like pretty fast.
Yeah, right.
It was like he kicked his butt in like a minute. He just like kicked him up on the hook, and that's it.
Let me tell you,
I was like,
when I get crucified, it always makes me stronger. Maybe it's a Jesus Christ thing. Maybe that's what he was like, born again, and he just like got the
oh,
power of
right,
Christ.
yep, because they crucified him. They put him on the cross, and yeah, whatever. I don't know, man. What I really love about the movie is just the costume design and the atmosphere. I mean, even like, so I just watched it today for the first time after seeing millions of movies in my life, and I feel like if this movie were made today, despite the '80s, you know, aesthetic, it is like legit. Like these people look like what would happen if the world ended and there was these sickos and cyborgs and shit roaming, like almost like that they could make this movie again. I don't know. That's what I feel.
I mean, they could totally make this movie again. I just don't know if they would. But it is a very, I like the fact that it's like just kind of just random. The whole idea that it was like born out of these other two films that didn't happen, and it just kind of makes this kind of Mad Max type film, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I like those type of movies, and the idea that it's I don't need it. I'm actually glad. Like I didn't want a sequel to Master. I mean, I probably did as a kid want a sequel to Masters of the Universe, but I'm glad that something more creative came out of something more original and creative. I mean, it's not like the most creative thing, but it's like it's an original idea, and
Well,
I like that.
I feel like I've never seen a movie like this before.
I mean, we've seen Mad Max. It's kind of like that.
No, but that movie, when I think about Mad Max, I think about cars.
That's true.
That's just the first thing that comes to my mind. Wicked ass cars.
I suppose. But
And,
it's a
whereas
very
this,
similar movie, though. I mean,
it's similar in that minus cars,
I guess.
in my opinion.
I guess.
And I do have it on screen. I'm
Oh,
playing it right
right
now.
now.
That's why I keep looking away. I prefer to do it this way so that I keep it in my head.
Jogs some memory.
Yeah.
What else did I write about? I like how do we make the classic Jean Claude kick better? Well, we add a knife to the boot.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I do think it's funny, like within like the story itself, like he gets beat up and crucified, and it's like the next day he goes and fights the guy and kicks his ass. It's like, I mean, there's not even a montage of him healing. Really, it's just, it needs an '80s montage in there, just a little bit.
Well, what I don't get is they show this scene of him kicking the wood, the board,
Right.
of him standing on, like it's gonna break, but it doesn't break.
Mm.
And like I was like, okay, it's gonna be like Kickboxer where he chops down the bamboo tree,
Right.
but it doesn't break, and then all of a sudden it breaks, like he just falls to the side, and
It
it's like
weakened it. He weakened it. He weakened
they
it
didn't even
enough.
show it happening.
That's the religious.
Like what was the whole point of him kicking it? Like
To weaken it, Justin. He weakened it enough.
yeah, but it
I don't know. I
it would
get
have
it.
been better if he kicked it and then it fell. You know?
Do you like the subplot that, like, I mean, I thought the whole, like, family going down in the well and then, like, the little girl, like, that's brutal, like, holding on to the barbed wire shit.
Oh
That's like
God.
when I was a
Dude,
little
I
kid,
forgot about
when I
that.
was a
That was
little
so
kid,
harsh.
when I was a little
That
kid,
was
that
so
freaked me out,
fucking
dude.
harsh.
That fucking freaked me out. And
Well, as an adult, I was like, wrap that shit around your body.
yeah, no, fuck that.
Like, don't fucking hold on to it with your hands. Wrap it around your body and walk walk away from the well. Bring them back up.
She's just not strong
You
enough,
know.
dude. She's a little girl.
But well, I know, but I get the point of the scene, and that was dark. That was super dark and horrifying.
It was, and then, but then then she's back, and she's like the bad guy's bitch, basically, and it's just kind of, it's interesting. Like there's stuff going on there. There's more going on. This is kind of why I like it a little bit more than Bloodsport, because I think there's a more stuff kind of going on in it story wise that makes it interesting to me. I think, and it's a bit more creative. So I think that's why I understand that Bloodsport has a lot of those classic moments, but there was this. I think that's just how I am as a filmmaker. I like the more creative, imaginative stuff, and I think that's why this movie kind of appeals to me more. But yeah, it's like really dark, and I don't know. There's just a lot going on, and there's like sex, and he's trying to be a good guy. Like he misses the girl that he was with, and so like when the other girl tries to give him her body, he's like, no, he's trying to be, it's like, oh, look, he's a nice guy.
Covers her up.
Yeah. Like she's
Which,
like, hey, well, if I
yeah.
fuck you, can I come with you? It's like all this kind of, and it's just like, I don't know. It's all very
No,
it's all very cliche, but at the same time, it's like it's good. I like it.
yeah. In that sense, it is like Mad Max. Where he's kind of like a lone person who doesn't really have, he has a memory of what his life was like, but
And he has
what he's doing right now, yeah.
and he has a moral compass. He still knows what right and wrong is, even though most of society has given up on that.
Yeah.
I do find it also interesting, spoilers if you haven't seen this fucking movie, that like nothing really, like they give the cyborg back with the supposed cure, and then he just walks off with his stepdaughter, basically, and then the movie ends. It's like we don't really know what happens. It's just like, okay.
Well, I took that as like there was going to be a sequel.
There are two sequels that have little.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, but they have very little to do with this movie. Like all Van Damme sequels, they have very little. Angelina Jolie is actually in the second Cyborg film.
Oh.
Actually, there's two big actors I think that are in the sequel. Elias Koteas, Canadians De Niro, baby, Casey Jones. Angelina Jolie, Jack Palance.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, Jack Palance is from well, you would know him best from City Slickers as the old curmudgeonly cowboy guy. No,
never seen it.
You've never
Hold
seen.
on, I gotta yell at my cat.
You
Hold
are
on,
silly. You are a City Slickers dude.
Hold on, I gotta yell at my cat.
Yell at it. Yell at it. Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Sam Jackson. Hey, motherfucker.
hey.
Oh, what is he doing?
Jesus Christ, he's fucking
Tearing up your real doll?
Hold
Tearing up your real doll?
on a second. Real doll?
What?
Hold on a second.
I mean, you say you make a lot of money and spend it on stupid shit, I'd imagine.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey.
Hey.
No.
Nope.
Hold on, Ian.
I know. I'm holding. Hold on. 2, 1. What is it?
What are you doing, man?
What are you doing, Sam Jackson? Who else is in this? And who's in Cyborg 3? Oh, Cyborg. What? Malcolm McDowell is in Cyborg 3? Like, how does... That's fucking weird. We should do an offshoot and just watch the Cyborg trilogy someday. That would be gnarly. That'd be funny. What else? Well, while Justin's taking care of his cat, I'll read the plot. A plague known as the Living Death cripples civilization. A small group of surviving scientists and doctors located in Atlanta, home of the CDC, work on a cure to save what remains of humanity. To complete their work, they need information stored on a computer system in New York City. Pearl Prophet volunteers for this dangerous carrier mission and is made into it. And she's made into a cyborg because can't fucking carry a fucking disc. You need to be a cyborg to carry this information. It's kind of funny. It is kind of a funny gimmick, MacGuffin. It's like, in order to carry this information, you need to be turned into a cyborg. But your cat safe?
Yeah.
What'd it do?
Just knocked over garbage.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep.
He's always fucking up your shit. Seems like a cat.
Yeah, I've had this fucking cat for 14 years now.
Going on 2 decades.
You've met that cat.
I've met your cat. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. But we're not talking about the movie right now, so...
After the success of Bloodsport, Cannon Films offered Jean-Claude Van Damme the lead role in Delta Force 2, American Ninja 3, or Cyborg. He chose Cyborg, though admitted later that he did not like the film. Here's an interesting one. Jackson Rock Pickney, who played one of Fender's pirates, lost an eye during filming when Jean-Claude Van Damme accidentally struck his eye with a prop knife. Pickney sued Van Damme in a North Carolina court and was awarded $485,000. That's kind of sad.
Would you think that much money was worth not having an eye?
I don't know. That's $485,000 is basically the budget of Cyborg. No, seriously, it's about how much it cost to make, and then it grossed like $10 million. So,
was this movie in the theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, all this stuff that we're watching now, this early Jean-Claude, all this stuff released in the theaters.
Even Bloodsport?
Oh, Bloodsport was in the theaters, yeah.
Gosh, man, can you imagine?
Can you imagine? It's when the DVD market came, and then it kind of like it was just it became too much money.
We were alive when this shit was in the theaters, and we didn't go. I didn't go and see it.
You know, here's a fun story for you. This is at the end. This is kind of towards the end of Jean-Claude Van Damme's. No, dude, you weren't with us. Maybe I saw it with Jeff and Mark. I've seen a couple. I saw Time Cop in the theater.
I saw that with you.
Okay. So we've seen, and then I know I only saw this with Mark, but we went to Oak Grove 8 and we saw Maximum Risk. Yeah, that's kind of like one of Van Damme's last theatrical films, but we saw Time Cop. We'll get to that someday. But that's a great movie.
Yeah, I mean that's why I thought I was thinking this movie. I was I was like Cyborg, and then the movie starts, and I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't.
No, it's not Time Cop.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, Time Cop's way better, but.
Well, it's higher budget, but honestly,
I love Time Cop.
I think this movie, Cyborg, is really good.
It's a great, really well-made, low-budget kind of. I mean, it's really low budget, but it's really well done.
If they were going to remake this movie, the person who would play Fender would definitely be Jason Momoa.
Oh boy, that'd be funny.
They look exactly alike.
I could see that.
Yeah.
No, I can see that.
And he's buff. And the guy, I don't know who the actor is, but dude, the guy is scary buff, dude. He's scary.
He's weirdly, but he's also weirdly thin but buff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's like there's
Yeah.
like no, he's just like fucking shredded thin, but like shredded. It's just like because he's wearing
No.
all this like pads and shit, and when he takes off his shit at the end, it's like, holy fuck, that's kind of a weird body, a weird, it's kind of a different body than you were
Well,
expecting.
the movie makes him look. I
Yeah,
mean, once they start fighting, the movie makes him look really fucking scary.
yeah. Well, he's
Like I wouldn't want to fight that guy.
and the contacts whenever he takes his glasses off and he's got those intense like fucking fluorescent eyes basically. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, even when he like comes, like even when like Van Damme and the old girl or like his flashback girlfriend are fucking, and like you come up over the window and he's like sitting there just like gooning on them, like it's just like, dude, that's fucking gross. That's gross.
Yeah. That's
uh,
me.
that's you. The violent scenes were heavily cut to gain an R rating rather than an X, including a throat slitting and some blood and gore during the village massacre. They also excised was the death of a man Van Damme was fighting, which caused an inconsistency that made him look like he suddenly disappeared. I don't remember that. I never caught that, so thanks for pointing that out, Wikipedia. There was a comic book that was made way back during the release. That's cool. And the film debuted at number 4 at the American box office and went on to gross just a little over $10 million.
What would that be compared to today?
I don't know, but the movie was only cost like, under $500,000 to make. So, I mean, inflation, I don't know. It's maybe 30. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But that's a pretty good turnaround. I mean, you take under $1 million and you turn it
Hey,
into 10
let
million.
me ask you let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that they tried to assume the idea that the girl he is protecting is a cyborg? Sometimes I feel like her facial movements are like robotic.
Which one? The little girl?
No, the girl he's with the whole movie.
Wait. No, he's not with. So the cyborg, he's not with the whole movie. She like gets captured.
No, not her.
So the other one,
The other,
not the young girl, but like the girl who wants to fuck him, basically.
yeah.
That she's a cyborg.
Well, because I just watched a scene where, in fact, she's doing it right now, where she's kind of like doing these robotic movements. So I just was wondering if you caught on to that.
I didn't catch on to that. I felt like that was just she was just there to kind of play off the flashbacks. Like he was in love once, and so she's like kind of bringing that back up, but he doesn't really want to get involved that way. Plus, she's also young, so then she also reminds him of, I think she just reminds him of his past. And she doesn't, and she's kind of innocent, and so like that's what I kind of find it weird that she dies at the end. Spoiler. Like, I'm surprised they killed her off. I don't think they needed to kill her off. There's enough death in the movie. I don't think they needed to kill her off, but whatever.
Is she real?
I think so. I think she's real. Well, yeah, she's doing all this other shit.
It's not just in his head?
I don't think so, because then she goes fighting the female pirate to save the cyborg while Van Damme's off tickling the nuts of the lead bad guy.
Yeah.
I think she's real. I think she's just like kind of a wasted like character in a sense. I don't think they needed to refrigerate her, basically.
Okay. I don't know. I'm always looking deeper into things.
I think the movie is I don't think the movie pushes it that deep. He wrote this script in a weekend.
The director?
Yeah, the director wrote this in a weekend, knowing that like those other films were being canceled and they had this money and they had these things and they needed to shuffle all this stuff. the story as he wrote it in a weekend and then pitched it and then they made it canon. Because canon, this is at the end of canon, kind of canon films. All those great canon films we would watch as kids. But yeah, this is kind of towards the end of that, I think.
Yeah, now they're walking through. This is like actually a really favorite part of mine was they're walking through like this market
Oh, right.
where it's like all this blue purple light and there's like people making things and whatnot. I
Uh,
just thought that was a really good scene.
the kid and the ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. The kid's bouncing the ball. Whoa.
I
But
mean,
yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme is just like he's not like this is all about me. He's just like it's like Blade Runner
I
kind
feel like
of,
he's not
you know.
also he's like not the most engaged in a lot of the scenes that he could be. I think I don't know. There's some scenes here where he's really good in, and then there's some other ones where it's kind of like a lot of the flashbacks. I'm just like, he's just like not interested in the. He's wearing this like fucking mop on his head, and I think he's like aware of how stupid he looks, and I think he's just not. But then some of the fight scenes are fucking great. Like the whole sequence in that. What is the one? Oh, I know. Jesus Christ, dude! Like, what the fuck is going on there? It's like he's I don't know. But there's the whole fight sequence and stuff that's going on in the that like warehouse thing. I don't know. There's just a lot of cool stuff, I think. A lot of kind of inventive shots like you were talking about. I kind of believe that this one guy can take on all these guys cuz he's kind of being smart about it. I don't know. I don't know. I've always just really admired this movie. I know it's really kind of cheap and low budget, but
I'm glad that I haven't seen it before because like it's refreshing for me
that's
being a JCVD fan and thinking that this movie was something else and not even realizing it was something different and noticing the difference, like just that it's not a typical like if somebody was I don't know, man. In a way,
it's
like
more ensemble. I mean, even the villain gets a lot of screen time in this. A lot of talking
yeah,
screen time. Like it is way more of an. I mean, he's obviously the top build. He's Jean-Claude Van Damme. If you look at the poster, it's like from Bloodsport. Starring the guy from Bloodsport. They're really trying to sell that he's this guy. But yeah, he's way more laid back in this movie. 100%. I'm glad you had never. I thought you would. I swore. I was like, oh, we've all seen all these movies. It's kind of crazy. I'm glad I was able to share this with you then, because
yeah. No, this is now one of my new favorite movies. Like I intend on watching this every time I want my '80s nostalgia kick. I'm gonna watch The Wizard and then I'm gonna watch this.
that's cool. Very cool. Yeah. Man. I don't know what else. Do you have anything? Did I write any more notes about this? I like how it has that kind of like dopey kind of beginning, like it has like a future narration, doesn't it? When it opens, it's been like a month since I've seen it now. It has that kind of like
Mhm.
Terminator narration in the beginning.
Right. Yeah, it does.
I guess it would have been cool. I mean, it would have been cool if there was an actual proper sequel to this movie. I think that would have been really cool. Like if Van Damme came back and like maybe the cyborg needed. I don't know. There could have been another movie. Like I wouldn't even make it. I wouldn't even remake it. I would just do a proper sequel to this one. Like Atlanta gets destroyed by these people, and the cyborg has to find an old aging, slinger. Which is basically you're right. It is a lot like Blade Runner in the sense that like a Blade Runner is someone that tracks down, androids. A slinger is some guy who like takes people across the wasteland. In fact, I believe the director wanted it to be called Slinger, but they renamed it Cyborg because that was more exciting. Yeah, Germany with the actually the in Germany it's actually called Slinger, and there's a director's cut that you can get from his website, but it was never commercially released. So there you go, Justin. That's probably not even available anymore, but director's cut.
Sorry, man. I'm watching the movie.
Here's another thing.
I know.
American rapper Method Man sampled most of Fender's opening words as the opening lyrics in the song Judgment Day from his 1998 album Tykel 2000? Is that what it's called? So there you go. The lyrics are slightly modified, but like the intro is also the opening of this song World Damnation by the death metal band Mortician? Anyway. So Meth sampled all of Fender's opening words for his album. You'd have to go back and listen to that to confirm.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, this is like Miami Connection, man. It's like this movie you haven't heard of, and then you see it, and you're like, damn, I missed out. This is probably a cult classic.
Oh yeah, it's if we had gone to elementary or middle school together, I'd be like talking to you about Cyborg, brother. I'd be like, I saw this fucking movie, dude. But
well, we did have that moment when we saw Gleaming the Cube.
Well, Gleaming the Cube that's also classic.
Or A Brother's Justice.
Dude, that skateboard. All I ever think of Gleaming the Cube is just how just like the fucking brick shithouse Mack truck skateboard he has built for him is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you made me watch this.
So this is a Van Damme. This is so good. Not a Jean-Claude my eyes out. It's a Van Damme. It's so good.
Van Damme, it's so good. Definitely. Definitely.
Van Damme.
Let's see. Van
Damn.
Is that it?
It's good enough. What are we doing next? What's our next episode with this one? Oh wait, let's go to Albert Pune. Let me look at his what movies did he make? Let's check out his filmography really quick. He did not make. Oh, he directed Kickboxer 2. Yeah, this guy is pretty low budget. Like, honestly, I think Cyborg was like his only. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what directors do, honestly, other than shoot this, shoot that, make this happen. You're the actor. You're going to say this. You're going to do that. I mean, they make the whole fucking shebang happen. Therefore, the director's kind of like
what is this?
The master of the whole thing. But if a director like this, who directed Cyborg, isn't doing more stuff, that sucks.
Well, he's a little old now. I think he's kind of done. But he did a movie called Sword and Sorcery in '82 that I don't think I've ever seen, and I am very interested in seeing. He has a cult. Also has a cult following.
That sounds like a sub podcast.
Sub.
Like,
Right. Well, what are we doing next?
Oh my God! My God!
What?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm watching the scene where the girl takes her clothes off and runs into the ocean.
See, she's nude. There's some boobs and shit. That's what I told you.
It sucks that this is going to be on the internet because one day I'm going to be president and
you're going to be like this.
That's going to pop up.
You're going to be president and that girl's probably already dead. And I could probably find out where she's at. Let me. Oh, you know what our next movie is?
What?
Kickboxer is our next movie.
Doesn't that seem kind of like
It released the same
a
year as
different?
Cyborg, so these both released in the same year, '89. So that's I know.
Apparently,
Hmm?
um, Bloodsport was his first movie.
Yeah, it's his first like leading role. I mean, he's got some other small like cameos and walk-ons, but Bloodsport is his. That's why we did it first, Justin.
Because I've been watching these videos of Steven Seagal,
Oh boy,
like being like a total loser. Oh,
a
those
loser.
movies, a total loser.
But
And
Jean Claude Van Damme
apparently,
is still not a loser. Jean Claude Van Damme's still kicking ass. He's funny as
no,
fuck.
Jean-Claude Van Damme has actual medals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He has
Oh.
competed.
So like
He is legit.
where like the professionals discredit Steven Seagal and how he's just like where the guy's like doing his thing. There's like 20 guys and like one attacks him and he kind of pushes them aside and then like doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are fucking
yeah.
hilarious.
He gives Keto a bad
Yeah, yeah,
name.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah.
He doesn't
I
even
didn't even know that.
he doesn't even
And
do
so it's just
anything. It's like funny when they
it's
attack him because like, and he just kind of moves his hand and they fall to the ground and they're like, oh, and they're like flipping around and shit. And it's like, dude, you didn't even do anything. Like what? Yeah, I've seen those
no,
videos. It's pretty funny.
no, I didn't know anything about that until like earlier this month. Like I was watching these videos
Yeah.
of
Because like Jean
people
Claude Van Damme's
showing.
a real fucking like you look at his record. I mean, he has like his actual fighting record is legit, and you know.
Oh yeah, exactly. He has medals and whatnot. I mean, he did all this shit before he became a movie actor. So
But even his social media presence is pretty funny, and his kids are pretty funny. They make movies with him and stuff. I follow him on YouTube, and they do some funny shit. Like Jean Claude's pretty legit. He's been through it. You know, he's made his mistakes, but he's still a cool guy. You know, he's not.
yeah, he came off as a bully in Hollywood, like kicking, like hurting people and shit. But I think that at this point in time, he's a respected actor.
I think all the
Yeah.
action guys kind of came off as dickheads. You know, I rewatched, or I didn't rewatch. I just watched on Netflix. They did that 3-part series. We're talking about Arnold now, but and it kind of talks about his relationship and some of that and how they wanted, like him and Sylvester wanted to kill each other, but like ultimately Arnold Schwarzenegger is just like the cuddly teddy bear guy, and like I don't know, it's kind of funny. All that shit's kind of funny. Like, and Sylvester Stallone had JCVD in the fucking Expendables. You know, it's like, yeah. Anyway,
Uh,
love
I
it.
just don't,
We're
my
doing,
childhood,
yeah.
heroes. I don't want to hear bad shit about them. I mean, my most famous childhood hero that I can think of, I
Is
mean, since I was born, was freaking uh, Bill Cosby,
mm,
you know, and
that's pretty brutal.
and then that happened. So and then it was like Harvey Weinstein, that happened.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean,
So I'm like,
but like you know,
leave
Avery,
John Claude Van Damme alone.
Uncle, Uncle Phil, Avery. He's good. He was a good dude.
Uh-huh.
He was the voice of Shredder, and he was Uncle Phil. That's pretty good. That's good shit. I rewatched last night, Justin. You'll love it. I rewatched this documentary about the Ninja Turtles, and he was on it. And he was like, at one moment he's like quoting Shakespeare, and then he's doing Shredder's voice from the cartoon, and it's just like, yeah, it's pretty funny.
Respect, respect to the people that provide us entertainment, man.
I never got into Bill Cosby. That's an interesting one. I actually didn't know that about you, that you thought he was the
I
greatest.
was, I was kidding, dude.
Oh, were you? Oh, I didn't. Oh man, I didn't pick up on that sarcasm.
No, I'm good at that. I'm good at the dark comedy,
I guess so.
at the seriousness.
Well, Bill Cosby's also good at the dark comedy.
My favorite
Ooh.
world event, my favorite world event in the world,
Oh, we gonna be push buttony here?
9/11. I love it.
I love it.
It's great.
No, you don't.
It's so great.
See, that's okay. I get it. I got it that time. I got it. Just trying to get those clicks. No, but it's awesome. I mean, we don't have to worry about. Well, so far we don't have to worry about JCVD. I mean, he could like slaughter an entire nation in the name
Well,
of
here's the thing.
in the
Here's
name
the
of
thing.
God or something.
You know what I'm worried about, Mr. Man? I hope to God nothing comes up about Keanu Reeves because that guy is a fucking miracle in Hollywood. He is like supposedly the greatest guy in the world as far as Hollywood is concerned. So I hope to God nothing comes up about
I
him,
love it
man.
when you talk about me, dude. I just love how you talk.
Oh, dude, I show pictures of you to my friends and say I know Keanu Reeves.
I jerk off to this every night.
Yeah,
Why are we
I
talking?
mean
Why are we talking about this now?
actually, yeah. Anyway, all right.
No, yeah, Keanu Reeves is great. Yeah, maybe someday we'll do a Keanu retro. Once someday at some point we're gonna have to decide where do we cut off the JCVD, or do we just do the entire thing? I don't know. There's a lot of movies here though that we'd have to.
Yeah, I mean you got Street Fighter
No, but like at
and
what point? But
Boxer.
like, do we kind of stop at his like Double Team would probably be the end of his Hollywood career, like in theaters, and then he goes straight to video. Like Double Team with what's his name, the basketball player. Why am I Dennis Rodman?
Right.
That's probably the end of his Hollywood career. For the most part. I mean, he comes back in some cool shit that he does later, but like then he just goes on a string of DVD releases. Do we not bother with the direct to DVD?
I don't think so. I think we should just do movies
So we
or
so
theater.
theater stuff. So we're
See,
like so
see
Double
rat.
Team is like our
Yeah.
that's where we're gonna end this basically.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That's 1997. That's the only film he released in 1997, and we graduated in 96. So like it was an end of an era, kind of.
You graduated in
Oh
'96.
Jesus Christ! I came back and watched you in that play, so
Thank you, Tom.
don't get it mistaken, actor. Why aren't you getting into the local theater? That's what you should be doing with your time, not spending money on dumb shit. You should like reach out to the. There's probably a local theater. You just get in that shit. You start acting. That's what you need to do.
I'd love to. I'm just nervous.
Well, fucking punch yourself in the ball. Punch
Hello,
yourself in the balls and like get it on.
my name is Justin.
You don't have to
And I'm
sing.
here
It
to
doesn't theater doesn't necessarily mean singing. You can do just speaking parts.
She came into this room
See?
and she told me she would never leave me.
See?
And then when I got sick, she never came back.
See? I don't know why. I
She
don't know why.
never
How come
back.
you can do that in front of me and not someone else? I'm serious,
It's
dude.
easy,
You
man.
should do it. You should do it. You should find
Acting
some.
is easy.
You should do some theater.
I could eat.
I could eat every day. Every day. Listen, I haven't given you the best roles. I can see that now.
Well, if only I lived in fucking Oregon, right?
No, they must have a theater in Minneapolis or Minnesota.
No, I mean being in your projects.
No,
You know,
well, I only do
you
one.
never
every-
needed a, you
I
never
do one.
needed a fucking biker or a fucking
Biker,
bouncer or
Sons
a
of Anarchy.
fucking Sons of Anarchy. You know, I could be that guy, but
I think you could do a lot.
out
That's
here,
bullshit. You could do a lot. You could do it out there. You're limiting yourself on that shit, dude.
I just don't know. I'm not a part of that community. That's all.
But
I don't know
you're not a
who.
part of it until you are a part of it. You just gotta
There's
like, hey,
probably I live 2 blocks from a high school. I'm sure there's some fucking high school student who's trying to direct a movie.
probably.
You know,
But that you don't
they
want to.
want.
But like, whatever. All right.
No, I'm not arguing with you. I just don't know how to do it.
You look on the internet for Minnesota blah 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 community theater. You just Google that community theater.
Twin Cities Community Theater.
Yeah, or
We'll
somewhere.
do it.
I mean, maybe you will. We'll see. Anyway, Kickboxer is coming up next. That should be easy to find.
All right.
Uh,
Kickboxer.
Kick.
Okay.
We've seen that a million times. Are we not that excited about this movie?
It's not that I'm not excited. I'm just pumped about
Natsuko!
Cyborg. This movie was just like new
Oh,
to me, you know. And I've seen Cyborg so many times
Kickboxer, you mean? Yeah.
that you know, or not Cyborg, but fucking
Kickboxer.
Kickboxer so many times. You know, I just
We need to bring the energy, you know, and we need to like, you know, I mean, I've seen it a lot of times too, but it's like, you know, that's actually a pretty good movie too.
it is. No, I love it.
So, but yeah,
All right,
it is what it is. I've
man.
enjoyed these. I've enjoyed these kind of, we've had like, so let's see, we have about 30 views on the podcast hits, and we have like 28 on the YouTube. So like, we got. If you think that no one's watching, unless you're like the only one who's clicking on the YouTube link, if you're like you've been watching it like 28 times, people have been watching. So, and John actually JPK's listened, and he thought it was fun. So there you go.
Well, whatever the case, I get to see your face and hang
Yeah,
out with you for a bit.
yeah. I think it's fun.
So
And I'm so glad I
I
got to
like
share
it.
this with you, dude. I'm so
I just
happy that I got to share this fucking movie with you.
yeah, I just man, my car broke down. The fucking alternator went out after the fucking air pump shit went out, and like, so I've been
So
having to
happy you
work.
bought a Dodge is what you're saying.
So I just been having to work a lot of hours to make money to pay for all
For all
this
that shit.
shit. So
Yeah.
that's why yesterday I was like, I I went into work yesterday for a specific reason, and once people saw that I was there, they started grabbing me to do other things.
You're just the big man on
And it
campus,
was
huh?
and then it was like, dude, I'm not here to help you with this. I'm here to do this. And then you texted me and you're like, are we still doing this? And I was like, fuck.
It's all
Like
right.
my brain was just, oh,
At least
fuck,
you're
dude.
important. At
Like,
least you're important to the system. You got some shit going on.
yeah, but man, I gotta have my own life. I gotta fucking do shit outside of work, you know?
Got to call that,
So,
community theater and get into the acting.
acting!
Justin
For real.
Burton plays Uncle Phil in the all-white cast of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I could do it.
I know, but that would be some
I mean,
that'd be some pretty
that's kind of
awful shit going on there. But yeah, you could do it.
that's kind of how people at work treat me. They treat me like I'm the uncle. Everybody comes to me for answers,
Uncle Phil.
and I go, I'm not a boss. I'm not a supervisor or anything. I'm another worker. And then people say, well, you're the boss. I go, I'm not a boss, dude.
Be pay the cost
Well,
to
you know
be the
what's going
boss.
on.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the boss because the boss means you work for the man, and the man sucks ass.
I would love to have my ass sucked.
Anyway. Anyways,
All right, brother. Well, this has been fun. Cyborg is a Van Damme. It's so good.
definitely
Um,
2 thumbs up. If I had more thumbs, 10 thumbs up.
10
This was a
thumbs up.
great movie. I loved it.
Cool. Yeah,
So
a lot of fun.
I can't wait to share this with my friends
Be like,
and
what?
yeah, watch it again. So
Yeah, and then like make sure you
thank
like pay attention and listen to everyone's like fucking like funny guitar names.
okay. I will.
That's pretty good. Well, don't go yet, Justin. We're gonna wrap this up. We don't really do social media. We don't really have an email address, but you can find us if you need to get a hold of us at the Couch Co-op Shows at gmail.com, because this is a Couch Co-op Presents podcast, and I force everyone on the Couch Co-op to listen to it. I'm Ian.
I'm Justin.
And this is the films of Jean Claude Van Damme.